Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Tuesday, January 11th, 2022 General Committee meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance?
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening grateful again for the safe return of our students and school family from the holidays. Help us to work together in a united effort to meet the needs of our children and to create an even greater feeling of family within the St. Bernard Parish Public Schools. Our mission is to protect and serve your children, and we ask your guidance as we work toward that goal. For these things in your name, we pray.
Amen.
Mr. Warner, would you lead us in pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Ms. Voce.
Mr. Campbell?
Here.
Mr. Egan?
Here.
Ms. Jackson?
Here.
Ms. Lee Bowman?
Here.
Ms. Lemoyne?
Here.
Mr. England and Ms. Dysart and Mr. Long are not with us, nor is Mr. Smith. Mr. Warner?
Here.
And Ms. White?
Here. Thank you, Ms. Voce. Okay, the first item is an education item. Ms. White.
Hi. Yes, number 2 on the agenda is the presentation of dual enrollment and fast forward programs. And to present tonight, we have Ms. LaBeouf.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me here, and happy School Board Appreciation Month. Thank you. Appreciate everything you guys do for us. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our Fast Forward program, but I wanted to start by kind of talking about dual enrollment in general. We, this year, implemented a few changes to enhance dual enrollment opportunities for our students by adding some academic courses. If you look on the handout, we added English composition, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, and college algebra to the courses that we offer on campus, in addition to the media art 1 and 2, sanitation and basic food prep that we had already been offering. And just by adding in these courses, we were able to increase the amount of students that are able to enroll in dual enrollment classes and the credit hours. You can look at our numbers from the fall of last year and the spring of last year and compare them to our numbers this year. You can see that there are more students in dual enrollment classes right now. And in fact, our spring numbers are a little off. We actually have 190 this spring with 1,140 credit hours. Wow. So I missed 20 kids somehow, but we got them on there. Yeah. So right now we are what's considered an early adopter of the Fast Forward program. These are associate degree programs that our students can achieve, that our students are in, that they achieve an associate's degree upon graduation. And we're kind of unique in that our associate degrees are technical. Our students are fully immersed. They're doing hands-on manufacturing for aerospace. They're doing process technology. A lot of the other districts have more academic degrees. We have these more technical degrees, so we're very unique, and we've been highlighted and kind of noticed because of that. And our students are primarily immersed at Nunes. The ones that go there, they're at Chalmette High for our first period class, and then they leave and they go to Nunes and they spend the rest of their day there. So this has been kind of unique to St. Bernard. We've had this program in place for about 5 years now. We've had over 30 graduates receive both a high school diploma and associate degree at the same time. Right now we have several programs in various stages of development. I want to just highlight a few of them. We have Associates of Arts. These are Louisiana transfer degrees that we are going to be adopting hopefully at the BESI meeting in the summer. We're going to do one in humanities, one in business, and one in fine arts. And we're hoping that with that fine arts degree, we can concentrate our students in theater and in film. So we have, our robust programs at the Cultural Arts Center. So with that, we can give students a really good theater experience, as well as some of the technologies we have with our TV studio and our all of our math labs. We're able to give students the film experience that they need to Photoshop, to do animation, and all of those things. So we're hoping that with the facility that we have, we can partner with Nunes to get an associate degree and really build out these programs. With also the Ranch Studios being so nearby, they're partnering with us and with the Digital Media Institute, which is kind of like an animation company, to help get students enrolled in kind of increasing with the associate's degree. They'll be able to go into the Digital Media Institute, get further experience with animation, and then intern or apprentice at the Ranch Studio. So it's just kind of a program that we've been building out from the ground up. We've also been working with Louisiana Restaurant Association to create a restaurant manager apprenticeship. We've been working with the local Louisiana, but also with the National Restaurant Association and some hotels and restaurants nearby to make sure that our students have a place to go work for those apprenticeship opportunities. Nunez is currently building their partnership with Oshner, and we're going to be jumping on that as well to offer a nursing apprenticeship to our students. So all of these programs, as well as the teaching, I didn't mention that one, are in various stages of development. We're hoping that with that teacher program, we can help fill in that teacher shortage that we have going on, getting these students their associate degree and helping them to kind of get a jump start and taking that praxis from now so that they'll come back to us and be better prepared. So all of these are in various stages of development right now through this year with the hope to present them in June to Bessie. And kind of our future plan for Fast Forward is to have either an associate's degree or an apprenticeship in each of the 7 pathways that we have at Chalmette High. We want students that have an interest in engineering, some that have an interest in teaching, in art, theater, film, whatever it to be able to get that jump start on college through apprenticeships or through associate degree programs. So it's our future that we're going to continue to build in some IT associate's degree and some more manufacturing as well. And that's it. Do you have any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
I'd
Okay,
just like to
Sean?
make a statement that, our community and our school system, we're so fortunate to have this program in St. Bernard Parish. And coupled with the fact that Nunez Community College is here in our community is such a blessing. Mm-hmm. And I'm very excited. I'm really excited that to hear the numbers and to see the numbers that you're talking about and the programs that are being offered and that it is growing, that you're going to continue to have more and more programs being offered is just very exciting to me, and it really is great news. So thank you so much for presenting to us and your presentation, and know that I'm very enthusiastic about this, and whatever I can do to help promote it, please let me know. Be glad to help.
Anyone else?
I want to say something too.
Oh,
I'm in the
Kelly.
hotel and restaurant industry, restaurant management for the last 30 years. And so we've always have a shortage, especially now during COVID, of employees. And this is one thing that a lot of hotels are looking for, is to partner with a university, especially to get new students that's coming out wanting to go into the hotel restaurant management. So again, if there's anything with my connections within the New Orleans industry, New Orleans area, Baton Rouge area, as far as students joining any of the hotel industry, just let me know. Love to help.
Anyone else? Catherine?
Thank you, Ms. White. Ms. LaWoff, I just want to thank you for your leadership over the dual enrollment programs. You have been, featured or helping to feature our programs across the region, and I know bringing groups in, our superintendent and educational leaders from across the state to really highlight what's being done in St. Bernard. So thank you for your efforts, and it's really great to see that so many of the new pathways are really targeted towards those high-wage, high-demand jobs like Ms. Lee Bowman mentioned. So thank you for establishing these partnerships, and thanks to all the dual enrollment teachers for their hard work. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay.
I just want to add, first of all, kudos to Ms. LaBeouf. She has done an incredible job in building on the foundation. We had the foundation in place when she took over the program, but has helped it to grow and expand significantly and does an incredible job. Now, when you look at the on-campus dual enrollment offerings with both some of the career technical and the actual general education ones, more the academic ones, we are increasing that. We've got now in the works several teachers on the high school faculty who are able then to be the teachers of record in the dual enrollment program and operate as either adjunct professors at for Nunez or working with the teacher of record from Nunez Community College. And those on-campus courses are increasing, but there are many, many more courses as well that our students actually take on the Nunez campus in addition to this. Because when we offer these associate degrees are 60 hours of credit. So while they will take some on the high school campus, they are also taking some on the Nunez Community College campus as well to make up the requirements for these particular associate degrees. So as you can see, we're going to have the career and technical associate degrees offered, but we are also having the what they call the transfer degrees, which are more academic in nature, where they can have almost their first 2 years before they go off to an LSU or a UNO or ULL or whatever four-year university they plan to attend. So it's a tremendous benefit to the student. It's also a tremendous benefit to the parent who has less tuition to pay, because all of these programs for our students, we take care of the costs in terms of the tuition and the supplies that they need. And we do that with some allocations appropriated at the state level. And if there's anything to make up, then we do it with grant allocations and local funds. So it is a tremendous benefit to our students and to our families. And I think more and more of our students are realizing what we do have to offer. Now they have to step their game up a little because, there's a difference between being a high school student and a college student. And with that community college class that they have to take, there has a maturity level that they have to step up a little and take a little more independent responsibility for their actions. So it's also a measure to help them grow and be able to accept those responsibilities in a supportive high school environment while still earning that college credit, which then gives them that confidence that when they go to either a 2 or 4 year institution when they leave us, that they've already got that under their belt. So it's a wonderful program in so many ways, helping the students and their families. And I think more and more are getting involved. And as you can see here, we're going to be offering it in every single pathway that's available. So thank you to Ms. LaBeouf, to the administration at Chalmette High School, and to the many teachers at the high school who teach in this program, and those who support the program, even though they may not be teaching these specific courses. They're creating an environment for our students where they can then be successful within these courses.
Thank you, Ms. Botry. Anyone else have a question or a comment? Thank you so much, Ms. LaBeouf. Very informative.
Thank you, Ms. White. Okay, agenda item number 3.1 is a review of personnel changes for January 2022. This item is for information only, so we can take a moment to review that, and any questions we can direct to Ms. Botry. And I do want to mention that we have 2 retirements. Miss Joanne Cargo from Andrew Jackson Middle School and Miss Deborah Merritt from Raleigh Alternative. And we want to wish them a happy retirement and thank them for their many years of service. Any questions on agenda item 3.1? Seeing none, we will move on to agenda item 4.1, which is a consideration of adopting the Code of Conduct for Louisiana School Board members. And you'll see in your packets that we have a copy of that resolution, which Angie has sent to us earlier this week. Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Happy School Board Member Appreciation Month. As I'm sure you know, January is School Board Recognition Month, and we are honored to celebrate you, our school board members, for your dedication and commitment to our schools and students. You work to ensure all of our students have the opportunity to learn and grow, and celebrating School Board Recognition Month is one way for us to say thank you for all that you do. Next week, Parish President Guy McGinnis will officially proclaim January as School Board Recognition Month and will join us at our regular scheduled meeting at the end of the month to present the proclamation. Coinciding with the observance of School Board Member Recognition Month, the Louisiana School Boards Association is encouraging all school boards to adopt the LSBA Code of Conduct for Louisiana school board members. This Code of Conduct serves as a set of guiding principles that all school board members should strive toward.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pritchard. Thank you for that recognition and description. And right now, do we have any questions about the resolution on the Code of Conduct for Louisiana School Board members? Questions? Okay. I think we'll need to entertain a motion to send this to the full board. Mr. Warner?
I'll make a motion that we send this to the full board with a recommendation.
We have a motion by Mr. Warner, second by Ms. Lee Bowman. Any questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Pritchard. Agenda item number 4.2 is a consideration of the resolution for the date, time, and place of the General Committee and regular monthly meetings. And you can see in your packets, we've got some information with the resolution and some details about those dates. Any questions or comments about the resolution or these proposed dates?
Make the motion that we send this to the.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Campbell, seconded by Mrs. Jackson. Any questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, seeing none, motion carries. Okay, agenda item number 4.3 is the introduction and consideration of a redistricting plan for the St. Bernard Parish School Board. And this evening, we have the pleasure of being joined by Mr. Danny Garrett.
Good evening. First of all, I'm Danny Garrett with the Strategic Demographics. We're assisting y'all in drafting your plan. First thing I want to start off with is y'all worked very collegially together to try to work towards a plan that made sense for everybody and that met the goals of getting the districts within the appropriate population ranges. Just as a little backtrack, you'll remember your original plan, the plan you're under now with the 2020 census numbers, had an overall deviation of 34.2%. That means between the biggest district and the smallest district, and you got to get that down under 10. Y'all did a very good job. Your aggregate deviation is 8.22, which is well within the 10-point range. You were able to get all the districts where they needed to be. We tried to make as few changes as we needed to make the districts get to that population. The resolution that's in your packet is a representation of what each district would be by whole precinct or partial precinct. Because remember, we talked about if you can't use whole precincts, you are allowed to divide precincts along a visible census boundary. There are actually an electronic shapefile that, once adopted, will be submitted to the Secretary of State, to the Registrar of Voters. And you also have maps of each district as well as a map of the parish as a whole. Dr. Blair, who owns Strategic Demographics, will actually be generating a large digital map of the parish as a whole that you can put on your website so people can zoom in. It makes it a little easier to see. We've also informally provided some meets and bounds just so everybody can see the street around. Now, we were able to use a significant number of whole precincts, so that makes it much easier. Like I said, y'all did a good job in guiding us as to what made sense by putting population here or there. And I was very pleased at how quickly the plan came together. Y'all are way ahead of the deadline, and y'all are actually the first plan that's being introduced for many of our clients. So congratulations. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
District 11,
Yes, sir.
it's just hard to determine on the map, but I'm interested in Sugar Mill.
All right. And actually, I've got it here. So Sugar Mill Road, let's zoom it in. And that's what you'll be able to see. So Sugar Mill Road actually ends up being one of the boundaries between District 10 and District 11, and it's actually one of the boundaries that we use to split what is Precinct 55. So that's where we drew that line. Because we have to do it around a visible boundary, so it has to be a canal or a pipeline or a street.
Will all of Sugar Mill be included in 55 precinct?
Well, we can't change that, take it out of the precinct. It is still in the precinct. It is actually the boundary line, but within Precinct 55, it is actually the boundary line of between District 10 and District 11. So one side of the road will be in District 10, and one side will be in District 11. And that was one of the boundaries, because when we divide a precinct, we have to do it along a visible boundary. But if there are any tweaks after you look at the plan and after you get some input from your constituents that they need to make before y'all adopt the resolution, we can make those changes. We just want to make sure that any changes we make don't throw your numbers out of whack. And a lot of times, understand the public doesn't ever want one person on one side of the road to be in a district, somebody on the other side of the road. But that is literally all over every plan, because those roads tend to be the visible boundaries you split a precinct. They also tend to be precinct boundaries. Like there are a lot of, like for example, Railroad Drive is a precinct boundary. So if you're on one side of it, you're in precinct 55. If you're on the other side of it, you're in precinct 53. But that's y'all are stuck with the precincts. Y'all didn't draw those. Those are done by the parish government. But you have to work within that framework.
Well, I'm not happy with it because I would like all of Sugar Mill in District 11.
So what we'd have to do is see about moving that line to the next visible boundary, which is probably
Maybe Michelle.
what?
Michelle Drive?
Well, the only problem is Michelle Drive actually doesn't go all the way. In other words, that would still only include a portion of it because Michelle Drive cuts in on Sugar Mill. Now, if you went to, and I had not planned to do this, but we always do stuff we don't plan to do. Let's see.
No,
I could look at it right
Michelle
this.
Drive is parallel with Sugar Mill.
Well, but the census, and again, we're bound by the census blocks that the Census Bureau comes up with. But if we were to take, move it over one census block. We could move the line from Sugar Mill Drive into Sebastopol Lane, which is the next census block. In other words, Michelle Drive is not a census block, so we couldn't draw the line there. What that would do to the plan as indicated, let's see. That would still work. It would leave both districts within the deviation. So literally, that little change, we could work that. And again, that's the sort of thing that makes y'all provide us information with. So I can actually prepare an amendment so that resolution is undertaken. We just adopt a different version of it.
Let me just clarify a little bit what we are doing. Tonight, we're going to introduce the resolution as the first, if you want to say, the first plan, the first draft of the plan. It'll be available for public inspection. At the actual meeting in 2 weeks in January, it'll be back on the agenda and available for public comment. Anybody can come and speak about anything they wish. At the February committee meeting, it will come back on the agenda, again available for public comment. And then once we take all these comments together from the general public, then on the second or the real meeting, so the fourth Tuesday in February, we would hope then to actually vote on the final plan. So it'll be again available for public comment and then hopefully adoption at the February meeting. So the general public, it'll be on the website, they can take a look at it, they can come to the next 2 to 3 meetings if they wish to give any of their comment about the plan or ask. And then what Mr. Garrett can do is make some adjustments and we take a look at it, and hopefully on the 4th Tuesday of February make the adoption of that final plan. So that's, Mr. Campbell, this is good input for the first night, and then we can continue to have input for the next 30 to 45 days until we get to that 4th Tuesday in February, and then hopefully have a plan that we all feel comfortable, or you all feel comfortable, in adopting that night.
Now, like I said, we'll, in any amendments that an individual member would like to suggest, we can look and see if they're possible, just like we did here. And if they are, we can craft language so that when y'all get ready to adopt the resolution, you'll amend the appropriate provision of it, just like you would on a policy. If y'all were adopting any other policy and a member wanted to change something from 10 days to 15 days or something to that effect. And you would make that amendment, and then you adopt the resolution with that amendment on it, and that'll be the plan that gets submitted.
Thank you, Ms. Voce and Mr. Garrett, for that clarification. And Mr. Warner, you had a question?
So we know no motion tonight or anything like that, this is just
Just a
strictly
motion to
introduction.
introduce it, so that it'll be available to everyone.
Well, I'll make a motion that we introduce it.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Warner, seconded by Mrs. White. Any further questions or comments?
I have a
Mr. Egan?
question.
Yes.
Looking at the original mapping we had, and of course, the corrections are, because I had one of the largest districts. No, I had the largest district. And I understand the need for taking a portion of District 2, which is my district, which would put it into the percentage that it's necessary to be in. But my problem I have is that it seems that I'm not too sure what, before it was light blue, and what I'm looking at now, I think, is the peak section. Okay, let's get with the red number 2. Is that correct?
Well, what I can do, and we have, I can provide a copy of each district with the existing district lines so that you can see where it changed. If that would be, that's not a problem.
Okay, fine, because, I see, of course, they do, it does include my home. So, unless my wife didn't tell me something.
Unless your key doesn't work tonight.
Yeah, well.
Well, I think, Mr. Garrett, one of the things is, and maybe it's my eyes are getting older, in the first that we looked at, 2 was a light blue, and it contrasted with 3. Now, if you look at 2 is the pink and 3 is, I guess, that orange color, they almost bleed into each other, those 2 colors. So it's hard to differentiate. See what we're saying?
I can't see it.
At first, I had a little trouble figuring out where 2 ended and 3 started.
Well, and that's one of the things when we would provide the digital map, it's much larger. Because it's 3 by 4 actually, if you were to print it out. And because it's larger, more geography is able to be identified. The computer, the smaller the map is, the less geography, and so it makes it a whole lot easier to differentiate.
Well, contrasting colors help too.
That's what I was.
We can change color. I can change color.
You gotta change the color so we can differentiate between 2 and 3 a little bit better.
Let Mary help you out with that.
Yeah, Mary's really good.
Color code and stuff.
I'll have to tell Mary I'm colorblind with it. No, but no, from what you said, fine, because, looking at here, printing is so small, and there are some streets that are not included. I mean, they're included, but they're not down.
Right. The larger you make the map, the more street names the software can upload.
That will solve my problem and my question, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Egan, and thank you, Mr. Garrett, for that digital version and then a little color contrast there. Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Warner, seconded by Mrs. White. Any other further questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Agenda item number 5 are superintendent's notes. Ms. Voce.
Okay, it's just that at the actual meeting, since it'll be the first board meeting in January, we will elect officers for this year, and if there is any change, then have an agenda item with signature resolutions associated with it. And along with that, just a reminder to everyone that our next Monday is a holiday. It's Martin Luther King Day, which is Monday the 17th. And normally we had scheduled for the 18th a professional development day, but because of Hurricane Ida, we had to turn around and make it an instructional day. So just a reminder to parents that the only student holiday is Monday, January 17th, and that the students will return on Tuesday, January 18th. Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments from the board? All right.
Move we adjourn.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Campbell
I'll second the motion.
and a seconded by Mr. Egan. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Good night.